The idea of talfiq is that you're, running around from madhab to madhab, from school of thought to school of thought. You're picking opinions a la carte. And this is why, if you go back into the tradition, the scholarly tradition, you find some stern words against talfiq. And the rationale is, basically you need a mechanism to ensure that you're not simply being guided by your desires, or basically, you don't have a conflict of interest. Okay. And one of the easiest ways to kind of ensure that you're not having a conflict of interest is sticking to one school, right? Sticking to one madhab. That way you're sticking with it, whether it is for you or against you. Now, currently in 2023, especially people who live in the West, they find that, well, if I try to stick to one madhab, it's quite difficult because there's some really interesting, strange circumstances, that I live in. Or you start studying a little bit and you might find that there is one particular opinion in this other madhab on this one specific issue that you find more convincing, or that just kind of makes things a lot easier for you. So the question is, can we avoid the conflict of interest while going outside of a madhab that we usually follow? And I think that, I think it's possible. But you need to keep in mind that the broader purpose, or the ultimate purpose, is to make sure that you're not having a conflict of interest and that you're not having a bad intention. The Prophet ﷺ said if he was presented with two options and both of them were permissible, that he would choose the easier one, right? A lot of people who do a lot of finger wagging about going outside of a school or, fatwa shopping, they neglect this hadith. This is true. But we also have to make sure that we're accounting for the opposite, which is people that are shopping around in order to kind of do something that they shouldn't be doing. So that means that if you're going to go outside of a madhab, or you're going to mix and match, that you need another mechanism. You need a different way to make sure that it's not just you and your conflict of interest and you just building your religion based off of a blameworthy type of convenience and not a normal amount of convenience. And that, I would recommend, you have to have people who are scholars or imams that you're attached to, or even just mentors, students of knowledge, people who are going to be able to call you out on that, right? That are going to be able to say, it's like, well, hey, it's like, well, why are you following this particular opinion here? It seems like, this is not really a illicit type of convenience that you have created for yourself. So the whole thing is about accountability. Let's put it like this. The easiest way to have that accountability is to just stick to one school. But if you're able to find and provide for accountability through a different way, through a personal relationship with somebody else, then sticking to one school becomes less of a big deal. And Allah knows best.